Hey, how's it going? Mr. Deadman of Hard Talk Radio and Rant and Chill. You know what doesn't help during a blackout? Not powering your power plants. This story is very Texas. This story is related to the Texas deep freeze that I went through, that a lot of you Texans went through, every Texan went through pretty much. Because, yeah, it was a combination of things. True, the turbines did freeze. The windmills froze, so they couldn't operate. Okay, so you lost power there. You lost some power generation there. It's also true that the pump stations they froze, so you lost power there too. It is true that Texas had like at least a decade to upgrade their infrastructure, and they did not. So that it's on them as well. But the other thing too, when learning about here, I just read this article here. Apparently, some of the power plants were just not given power. Just not given power. Let's see. You need to supply power to everyone. So wouldn't you power up the power plants so that way you could generate more power to everyone faster? It seems reasonable. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking basic because I play a lot of video games like Command and Conquer. I know it's basic. You build power plants, build power plants. But to me, if you want to supply power, get things up and going, then you need to power the power plants. Otherwise, what are you doing there? I mean, that's literally the thing that's going to be generating your power. And this is something that affected, 4 million Texans. 4 million Texans. And at least, I think 40 people died? At least 40? I mean, I was living without power for about 4 days, living off the grill for 4 days. My story is not really that harsh compared to others. There's people that are still without power. There are people that were like boiling water and everything. They had babies and they had to manage that. You know, to me, it was just living off the grill, drinking a lot of beer, and candlelight. That was it. And finding things to burn in the backyard. Because I did not use a fireplace. Our fireplace doesn't work like that. But yeah, let's see. Curtis Morgan, the CEO of Vistra Corp, he told lawmakers on the outset of the public hearing on one of the worst blackouts of U.S. history, he told the lawmakers that when officials from his company called utility providers, that they were told that they were not a priority. That they are not a priority. Why is that? Some people speculate, maybe so they could jack up the price. Maybe. Of course, ERCOT says it's to preserve the integrity of the grid. That doesn't make any sense to me. The grid's designed to carry the load, carry the power. If you turn back on the power plants that were already on, they just lost power because of the deep freeze and all that. If you reinstate them with power, how's that going to affect the grid? Is it going to be too much, like a surge of electricity? Well, then it sounds like you need to upgrade that grid, or it sounds like you're just lying. And I think they're lying. I'll tell you why. Because if they were honest about it, why would they quit? Why would the ERCOT guys resign? Why would the top ERCOT guys resign? There's something going on there. At least 6 of the people resigned. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? They're still going to be called into questioning. Just because they resigned doesn't mean they spared themselves of any responsibility. Or, it spared themselves of any consequence for the lack of responsibility. This is not going to go over. This isn't just going to just roll over. There's going to be a lot of questions about why didn't they turn those power plants back on? What was going on there? What do you mean the grid couldn't take it? These power plants were already connected on the grid. They work well. I mean, were there parts of the grid that were other parts that were affected too by the freeze? Explain that to me. Explain that one. So I'm very curious what's going to happen from all this and what we're going to find. I will say, I hope Texas learns its lesson here. I know a lot of people are running rubbing it in our faces, right? Especially when Texas was wanting to secede, or at least the talk of it anyway, and be independent and all that. We very well could. This we got to learn from it, in that look, we need to make the generators. We need to upgrade the power plants and the turbines or the windmills so that they can withstand another deep freeze, because it's going to happen within another 8 or plus 10 years, or 8 or 10 years. It's going to happen again. So to not plan for it, to not prepare for it, would be kind of stupid, and would be on us. They do this sort of stuff, the rolling blackouts in California, quite often. This is something kind of new to us. Well, it shouldn't really be new. Really, the last freeze like this was about like 8 or 10 years ago, and it did affect some power. And Texas was advised that to upgrade their power plants, to upgrade the turbines, upgrade at the time, I don't think we had the windmills, but and we didn't do that. We did not do that. So I hope we learned our lesson. I hope we rebuild from this. I think we will. I hope so anyway. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Why do you think they didn't restore power to those power plants? According to ERCOT, like I said, they wanted to, they were concerned about the integrity of the grid. You believe that? Let me know in the comment section down below. You guys, ladies, take it easy.